So look, we're looking into trucking, and we got to get the knowledge of the job. So you need to do the knowledge of the job. Like, man, I get tired of hearing people talk about home time. Like new students coming in here, I'm sick of it. They're all like, when do I get to go home? When do I get to go home? How long is this gonna take? Look, you came to a trucking job, so when you first come out here, you better have your head on right. You better expect not to be able to go home every weekend. You got to know what you're getting into. Now, you know, the PSD phase is going to be, first you go through orientation, a couple days, then you got to wait for a PSD trainer, and then after that you get a PSD trainer. That's a guaranteed maybe 14 days till you get your CDL, and then there's a possibility that you're not going home after that. You might run another 2 weeks with a trainer over the road, so you might not go home for a month. And that's if you're getting this down fast enough that you are able to test when you're first eligible. Don't try to rush this project, this whole thing, to go home. Like, you're here, you came to a trucking job, you get ready. We're away from our families, we're away from home, and I know it's not fun. Like, I've had to do it. You came to a job where you're not going to be home every day, you're not going to be home every weekend, you might not be home every month, it might be every other month. Some guys probably have been home even less than that. So whenever I hear a lot of people coming over here that did not do their research and they didn't look at, hey, I'm going to be out for this long, or I'm going to be out for that long. Like, it's kind of like, man, did you come here to get a job or what? You got to realize this is a trucking career. You got to know, you got to do some knowledge, do some research. We sleep in the truck. We're not getting hotel rooms. You're not going to be in a hotel room every night. During orientation, you get to be in a hotel room. That's great. You know, it's nice. But when you get your trainer, it might be over the road trainer, and you might have to move all your stuff on that truck and go. Run freight. That's what this is about. Running freight. We got to get supplies and goods to shippers and receivers so they can get it out to the public, the communities that need them. So it's work. Trucking is work. Don't come out here with a mindset of, man, I came out here trucking, I'm going to see the world. You know, you're going to see the world through a windshield as you drive by it. Now, I'm not saying that we don't get off the truck and we don't have a good time here and there, because there's times that we have some extra time. We might stop in some other cities. We might go out, you know, get an Uber somewhere, have some fun for a little bit, and get back to the truck, and it's time for work again. So you got to realize that, you know, this is not all fun and games. This is not living in hotel rooms. This is not going home every weekend. This is a over-the-road job. You're going to be waking up in a different truck stop pretty much every day. It's not local, like, oh man, I'm from Texas. Man, they can't send me to California. I'm from Texas. That's too far away. Or they can't send me to Washington. That's too far away from Texas. You know, it's an over-the-road job. You're going to be delivering all over the place. It's different shippers, different receivers, different states, coast to coast. So, you know, you got to realize that you're not coming over here for a local job. You're not coming over here for a dedicated job. You're going to be an over-the-road driver. Now, don't get me wrong. There are positions like that. You might find a position where you can do local, or not local, but a dedicated, where you go back and forth between a shipper and a receiver, back and forth. You might live in a right area that works out with, or you might live in a right area where there's a dedicated, so you can get some dedicated loads where you're dedicated to a certain area, or a regional where you're only in certain states. You know, there's a lot of different stuff out there, but you have to do your research. You have to figure out how to get onto those accounts and stuff like that. A lot of it is, once you get your time over the road and you've proven yourself that you can handle this, that you're not going home all the time, that you're out here working as hard as you can, but when it's home time, you go home like once a month, end of the month or beginning of the month, or every other month, whatever it might be. You're gonna go home whenever you can go home, but the rest of the time you're gonna be working hard, and you're not gonna see that house, you're not gonna see that apartment, you're not gonna be able to kick the dog, or whatever. You're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff. You're gonna miss out on watching your kids grow up. You're gonna miss out on being there every single day, and it is hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. Like if you've never been away from your kids, and then when you come home, you spend some time away from your kids, and you come home and one of your kids acts like they don't know who you are, it kind of hurts. And then finally at the end of your home time, they want to spend time with you. It's time for you to leave again. Next time you come home, they're all like, who is this person in my house? I don't know. I just hear a lot of people talking about going home, and it kind of bugs me. It's like, did you not do the research for this company? Like, one of my friends was telling me how his TNT student was all like, hey, I need to be off this day. 2 weeks later, I need to be off this day. 2 weeks later, I need to be off this day. 1 week later, I need to be off this day for doctor's appointments, for different appointments he had. And I said, man, this dude didn't realize he has an over-the-road job, that he can't really go home like that. That's going to cost a lot of the money. Ends up that the TNT trainer was like, I can't deal with that. No, I'm not. Like, you're off the truck. I can't deal with that. I'm not dealing with that. And I don't blame him. Like, that's a lot of time that he needs to be home. He needed to take care, in my opinion, he needed to take care of a lot of that before he came out here. Also, I had another friend that his student took off for about, he was all like, hey, look, I need 3 weeks off. So his trainer, he was all like, for what? He was all like, man, I got a family, don't you know? And the TNT trainer's like, I got a family too. I'm not taking off 3 weeks. And the student was all like, man, I need 3 weeks off. So he's all like, you know what? You take 3 weeks off, you're off my truck. And ended up that the fleet manager said, hey, when you're a student, you're a company driver, you're only allowed to take off 4 days. And that guy did not get to take his 3 weeks off. He got to take 4 days off. And actually, he only got to really take 3 days off, because you earn 1 day off per week you run. So when you come out here, get ready to run some miles and work hard. Don't come out here with the attitude of like, I'm gonna get to go home all the time. Because if you feel like that, then you're picked the wrong place to be. It is not as easy getting you home as you think it is. It's not. I mean, you can get home when you need to, like you put in your home time in advance and you let your fleet manager know, good communication, you're gonna get home. Sometimes you're not gonna get home on that exact day you need. Sometimes the load doesn't work out like that, or you get stuck at a shipper. I mean, just random stuff like that's happened to me. Like, I got stuck at a shipper. My fleet manager was all like, hey, after you deliver that load, see you in 4 days. I was like, cool. It's to a McLean's. I ended up getting to that McLean's, pretty much stayed the night there. I did stay the night there. Got up the next morning, and then I got my truck, took it to a truck stop. Well, first I had to get my trailer washed out, because I was like, I am not having that mess in my trailer whenever I get back. So I went and got the trailer washed out, and then my fleet manager was all like, hey, sales needs that trailer, so we're gonna have this driver come pick it up. So like half of my first day off was dealing with all that. I went ahead and told my fleet manager, I'll go, hey, I didn't get 4 days off, so I'm taking another day off. He's like, I understand. He goes, I didn't mean for this to happen like this, but sales needed that trailer. It happens. Just plan ahead for that. Like, if you have a certain day off, say you need the 5th off, I'm not going to put in my first day off as the 5th. I'm going to put my first day off is on the 3rd. That way I'm pretty sure they can get me there for whatever I have really going on the 5th. You know what I mean? Like, plan ahead. Try to get ahead of it in case there are things that happen. But just so you know, if you want to go home all the time, OTR trucking is not for you. Do some more research. Figure this stuff out before you get all the way to prime. Before you start your training and owe some money, Like, you're gonna owe some money if you sign that contract with Prime. You got 7 days from the time you sign that contract with Prime to quit and not owe any money. After the 7 days, CDL or not, you're gonna have to pay that money back. Just keep that in mind too. You got 7 days to change your mind. If you're past that 7 days, you're paying that money back. You know, like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this opens some of your guys' eyes about, hey, I want to go home. Chill out on that. You came here for work. Let's work. Let's get this done. You know, this might be one of the breaking things that makes you not want to come trucking. You know, it's a big life change here. It's hard. If you think you can deal with all this, like I had to deal with all this, and you know, I dealt with all this and I found a way to make it work for me. And sometimes that's what you have to do with. You have to deal with it for a while to make it work for you. You know, get in a CDL. Maybe your goal is, hey, be here a year, then I'll go home and I'll work for a local company. You know, you got a game plan. You're going to have to put up with this not being home for a whole year though, because nobody wants to pay that money back if you don't have to. Like, comment, and subscribe. Leave some comments in the little comments down there. And don't forget, Thursday nights. Tomorrow night's Thursday. Don't forget the live. I want to see y'all in there. Write down some questions. Get them ready for me. Stump me. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Get my latest lives. Get my newest videos. Also, in the description, there's a link to fill out an application and get my recruiter. My recruiter's good. Don't forget to drop that referral code, COXDJO. Also, my phone number is 417-894-8098. Drop me a call, text me, something.